Not a problem. First of all, thank you very much, Fat, for this uh, great opportunity to join again the Banking Summit. I participated in the last one in for East Africa and thoroughly enjoyed the discussion and the camaraderie and just the sheer excitement and energy that Ike was speaking about earlier. Maybe I could take a little time and tell you a bit about myself. I'm a serial chief data officer. What does that mean? I've held the role 7 times. I've award-winning, and I really love bringing people into this space of the mindset and getting the chief data officers and the data leaders at the decision-making table with the other C-suite executives. So I'm thrilled that I'm able to participate again and hold amazing discussions with my peers and colleagues across the continent of Africa. And I send my greetings from Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, where I work as the managing partner of Turnkey Technologies and serve as the chief data officer, because we are the world's premier chief data officer-led data management consultancy with a global reach. So thank you very much, Faid.
Right, Althea. We are actually waiting for her honorable to join. So in the meantime, you can carry on some conversation.
Sure.
In fact, her honorable is in the waiting room. So
oh, great.
yeah, technology. And we're talking about the industry 4.0. So 4.0.
Okay.
All right.
The data, the communication, the audio is filling in the blanks where the technology fails. So don't worry.
Mrs. Althea Davis and your panelists. Over to you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Faid. And thank you for the opportunity to have the honor of hosting this particular segment. Today, it is my honor to interview the Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitalization for Ghana, Her Honorable Ama Homa Boateng. Welcome, Your Honorable Minister. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Althea. Thank you. I'm really honored to be here, to be part of this program.
We are so happy that you could be a part of this. And we really can't wait to get through this conversation with you to get into it. So I'm going to kick us off. Is that okay with you, Minister?
That's fine. Yes, please.
Great, great. So starting off, and I'm going to pick up where Ike left off. I love that he said that Africa has the opportunity again to take the leapfrog position when it comes to this information economy. So thinking about that, one of the themes in the information economy is digitalization, transformation. And many people think that it's about technology, but actually it's about new business models. So if you think about the analyst firms, global analyst firms like IDC, and they have done recent research where they have said something like 76% of global corporations are busy with reshaping, revitalizing, or restarting their organization. How would you see something like, why is customer centricity in this digital transformation so significant to be able to embrace it while you're adapting a digital transformed model?
Thank you, Althea. First of all, I would like to say that my ministry, the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, is championing government's digital agenda. And we have 5 thematic areas that we are looking at, which is the infrastructure and connectivity, digital skills, research and innovation, digitalization of our postal and courier services, data protection, privacy, digital networks, the legal and regulatory frameworks. And with all that we do with our strategies, we always focus on the customer, which is the citizens.
Yes.
Because there's the need for governments to have the digital capabilities. And in doing that, you need to gain the citizens' trust. And because they are the center of what we do, we need to engage them, know what they want, and provide the services that would suit them so that we can also gain value from what they give us. So leveraging on new technologies, or not new, but on technologies and the new models, MOCD is tasked to make specific improvements with a roadmap of initiatives to improve government services. So with our digital transformation strategy for our government, ministries and agencies, we need to create a convergence of the physical, digital and human worlds. And with this, we work to deliver services focused around the needs, not government structures, but on the needs of the people that we are serving. So almost all that we do has the buy-in from our stakeholders and from the communities that our people live in. So we are very, very focused on providing services that will be useful to the citizenry. So our focus is customer-centric before the structures come into place.
Excellent, excellent. And I could not agree with you more. Having worked formerly at the European Commission, and I said to some of my colleagues at the time, maybe a little bit unpopular, that you don't understand, as a government, you're in the business and you have customers that are the citizens. So you need to acknowledge their needs and you need to meet their needs. So it's a very profound thing for a government to acknowledge that and work towards it. That's a wonderful thing. So in light of the needs of the citizens and using the customer centricity as a focal point to bring all of the different elements together that you just mentioned, how does data and analytics impact the quality of the government's decisions and the customer experience, so the citizens' experience? How does data and analytics play into that?
So for government, the use of data analytics, especially in our health industry, has given us access to information like never before. The use of data and analytics reflects in better decision making. It costs us less to do business, and it gives us a broader healthcare availability, because we are able to know what actually is needed by the people that we are serving. It also helps us in predicting risk, because in data analytics, the parameters being used helps us determine which patients within a population is being affected by maybe a pandemic or a particular illness. Yes. And with that, you are able to structure your policies around the pharmaceutical companies or the insurance companies. You are able to focus more on what actually is needed for the people that you're serving. So with data analytics, you are able to figure out high-risk patients, low risk, the aged, the young, the pregnant women, and the services that would help us have better policies in place in serving our people. It also helps us to have confidence in what we do, because with data and with the integrity of the data, you are able to know that whatever you're doing is best for the people. For us in Ghana, as we provide government services to the people, we have our data protection commission in place. We have our cyber security authority in place. We have the customer-centric focus in place. So in adding to all the metrics, we are able to derive information or relevant information for our policy formulation to implement good policies for the people that we serve.
Yes.
The volume, the variety of customer data is enormous, which currently is overwhelming areas that we don't have our technologies or systems in place to collect or to make meaningful the data that we have collected.
Right.
But for the areas that we've put in place these structures, the amount of information that we are getting from these analytics has been very, very useful for us. Currently, MOC, our ministry, is working with the civil service to have to create an information technology class or directorate for all our ministries and departments. And we are creating chief data officers to enable us gather enough data for us to use the analytics to help us formulate better policies for the people that we are serving.
That's amazing. That is so, like Ike said, leapfrogging, taking the opportunities, or sorry, using challenges to create new opportunities for the community and for the role of the government. It's amazing. And I think as well, what you said, and I think is really interesting, data and analytics has a huge impact, able to make a government or an organization confident. Everybody knows in business, the worst thing for business people or for a government is uncertainty. Data and analytics has a positive impact to turn that around. Also, you mentioned about the lowering of cost of operations, lowering cost of delivering health services, as you mentioned, and of course, all of the wonderful predictability related to that. As we move along and we look at some of the new programs that the government is working on, for example, I read about the ultra-modern library, bridging the education gap with ICT and skills. Why are design thinking principles applied to define problems and solutions to be able to address customer needs, so citizen needs or commercial customer needs?
Well, design thinking comes in place, especially when you have an idea and you are an entrepreneur and you want to provide a solution, be it for a social enterprise or a business enterprise. And with that, you need to follow certain principles that would aid you to get the right thing being done. So in design thinking, you need to understand the problem.
Yes.
First, then you search for solutions, and a closer observation will give you a better scope of work to work and involve users or the real customers. You know, so that actually helps you to design a product that not only suits you because you have the idea, but a solution that is actually going out to provide a solution for a business. So I think applying design thinking in what we're doing is very, very important, because eventually you would have to build something that you love, but it's useful for your customers. So this methodology helps you to build empathy. It helps you to have the confidence of the people that you're serving, so that they would use the product that you are designing. So I believe in these methodologies to help you craft a solution that will be of benefit to everyone.
Definitely. It's a really highly exciting methods that can be used for so many different types of problems that we experience around the world. Moving to looking at how to be really successful at something. So why is it important, in your opinion, to think small while trying to achieve big transformational changes in banking, for example, with the government's support?
Well, Athia, most often entrepreneurs need to have this mindset. You know, growing up, we are always told to think big. But when it comes to business, it's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
You really need to, it's important to think small and grow big. You think small first, and once you're successful, then you add on and become big. I would use our Ghana.gov portal as an example. So many things have been tried in the past when e-commerce started, and government needed to provide some kind of service to its citizens. And we had to build it block by block. And now we have a government portal where you can go and have all these government agencies on a platform, which is of great benefit to the users. Because for instance, if you want to start a business, you can just go on this platform and you know the regulations, where you have to pay your taxes and all of that. And in the past, this was one of the challenges of the country. Doing business in Ghana was really a challenge. But as a ministry or as a government, we didn't do all of it at a go. We started building small. Then we knew that it worked, and certain things could be replicated. We knew our challenges, and we knew how to solve them. We knew that trust was an issue for people. So having a cybersecurity authority in place, or data commission, which will protect citizens' information, was key. Otherwise, we could think big, do a platform without all these in place, and it wouldn't be of use to anyone, because then, you know, the users will think that, yes, they have a very beautiful big platform, thinking of bringing all government services on this platform. But really, they were not willing to use it because they didn't know where their data was going. They didn't even know if their banks, all banks, were going to be hosted on this platform. But now we started small, and we've been able to build on, and now it is providing a very, very big service to all of us here and abroad.
That's wonderful. I mean, the thing is, as an entrepreneur, I totally echo your sentiment about the starting small and the purpose of starting small. Um, these are things that get you closer to being able to be truly impactful and truly meeting the needs of the customer, the citizen customer, and of course, the commercial customers in the banking world. So if I think about everything that we've discussed, you mentioned from future proofing, the ministry, the government also taking a big step and committing to dedicating a whole new department and setting up chief data officers to get their hands around what most people term the most valuable asset right now, data. You mentioned that also the digitalization transformation process, that it indeed is not just about technology, it's about a convergence and also the wonderful experiences that you've had as the government to be able to meet the healthcare needs of your population. I wanted to give the audience a chance, if we had questions for the minister, to raise the questions. And I believe I have one here. Okay, no, I thought I had one here. But what I can do is, hello, Minister, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought something dropped. My bad. I wanted to ask specifically about, we talked about customer centricity, and you mentioned also about the e-government. And I also read something on the website. Oh, I can see you beautifully now. Hello, Minister. I can see you perfectly. The NITA, I believe, the National Information Technology Agency, and the e-government together, that initiative. Could you tell us a little bit more about it in terms of the digitalization process?
Yes. NITA is one of our agencies.
Mhm.
Is in charge of everything ICT.
Okay.
So currently, NITA has been focusing on infrastructure as well as digital skills for all our municipal assemblies and for ministries and agencies.
Right.
So they're grooming and training people on how to use these infrastructures to provide services at the local level to our people.
Right.
So NITA plays a very important role for government and for this ministry, because NITA is our ICT arm services in Ghana. So we have NCA, which does the communications, but does the regulations and the ICT in Ghana. And we are equipping them to be able to take on this task.
Right.
Because you rightly said, we started small,
right,
and we are big now. So NITA is having to set up a professional body, which will all these ICT or IT professionals, because it didn't exist in the past. We've had small groups coming together. These groups are playing a very key role in all digitalization in the country. So NITA is now being expanded with their mandate to do much more than we did in the past. So it's going to be very powerful, just like the telecommunications, National Communications Authority is. So NITA is on track to provide everything ICT in Ghana.
Absolutely amazing. And I had a question about the ultra modern library. I was reading about that and how the mission is to, bridge the education gap with a focus on technology like ICT skills. And being a data leader myself, I wanted to get the data in there. So I was curious, when you say ICT, do you really only mean technology for the STEM people, or are you preparing the youth and your workforce to educate them on data literacy?
So from next week,
Mhm.
the MOCD, for instance, concentrating on training 3,000 girls. And
Wonderful.
some of the training that we are doing is on data analytics. We have the University Students Association ready with students, both male
and
coming,
female.
asking for courses on data analytics, artificial intelligence, and other things. So the students come from tourism, fashion, the STEM, everything to learn data analytics, because it provides them information on everything in the industry. It gives, for instance, if you take the fashion industry, you can easily provide info from the data and analytics that is being on that to provide certain trends.
Yes.
Some few minutes ago, I heard a musician about data analytics, and quickly we had to contact the tourism officials that the people in the music industry are looking for information with data that will give the trends. They want to know information on who is listening to their music. They want to know more on their royalties. So data analytics plays so much importance in every industry in the country. So it's not just for the technology or the STEM fields, but we are looking at paying attention to all the industries.
All fields. Yes.
All fields. Yes.
It's really amazing. And the thing is, what you just said, and I think a lot of people don't realize this. People think about maybe technology or data, and then they think about data and they think data science and analytical. That's definitely a part of the data. But the other part of the data is actually making the patterns and the connectivity and pointing it to subjects, just like you mentioned, musicians who want an information product, a data product, and that can be turned into a service. So it gives also companies and governments opportunities to engage in very multiple facets of the community and the global market in a whole new way, because actually we were all quite blind doing business and governing, and now we can become very intelligent and share that knowledge with each other. So it's really exciting. I had one last question, if it's possible. I believe there's a question that came in. What is the ministry doing about high cost of data? And there's a second question, so I just ask, I'm reading it, is there in any strategy to ensure free public Wi-Fi to promote data usage instead of voice? This is one of the questions that came in from the audience.
Well, high cost of connectivity has been one of the challenges or one of the questions that we keep getting. And most things, it's not government that is providing these internet.
The data.
It's private businesses that have to put in all other costs to provide, this connectivity. So government plays a role, maybe probably in reduction of our licensing and all of, but majority of the cost is borne by the business entities who then decide to pass on
The cost.
to the customer. But
Yeah.
it's been a very common question that keeps coming up. And I know the minister and the telcos are constantly talking about it because we want to make internet accessible to one in the country. On our part, we are also doing rural telephony to make that where the rural areas can't afford, we would play that role and provide data
Right.
for them.
As a product.
Yes. So for Africa as a whole, as we in Ghana host the Secretariat for Africa, we're looking at making sure that data is common to everyone who wants to do business with in the African countries, not just in West Africa or neighboring countries, but all of Africa. And because we want to implement this, my ministry and the telcos are doing talks or are having talks to make sure that data is affordable. So hopefully soon,
yes,
prices would go down and everything will be affordable for everyone. The second question was?
The second one was, is there any strategy to ensure free public Wi-Fi to promote data usage instead of voice?
So we started off with high schools and we are looking at the universities. So as we pilot these, we would want to make Wi-Fi accessible or free certain public places, probably start with the libraries, then common areas is one of our areas that we would be working at. But we are working with phases. So we're handling the schools and the libraries for now, and very soon we will get to the public areas as well.
Great. Well, Your Honorable Minister, it has been my honor, and it is fascinating speaking to you about the amazing developments happening in Ghana and showing the world what Africa can do in this space. Thank you so much. And unfortunately, we have to end this conversation, but I'm sure we will continue it